Hi everyone, bit of a short video on this one. So this is a video that sort of probably actually didn't really get made. Well, it didn't get made because this is a automatic window winding system that was built into a window and it stopped working. So I tried to have a look at it to see what was going on. And after doing a bit of a Google and that sort of thing, I found out that there's, as you can see, I've pulled this all apart. There's a little control board in here. You can just see that where these wires are coming up, and then there's a central control system somewhere else, and then central control system somewhere else, and then some buttons on the wall. So with this particular unit, there was two of them. Buttons on the wall, one for open, one for close. Problem with it was that obviously it wasn't working. Secondary problem was that you open one window, you open both. So then, of course, when one window doesn't work, neither of them work. So that was a bit of a problem. So then I started looking around trying to figure out what was going on. I found there were 5 power supplies to power 4 of these units. I went, okay, what's the 5th power supply for? And that's when I started Googling it and found that there's actually a central control unit for it. So this central control unit, which I'm designating by this white box here, was up in the roof. Problem was that it's a rake ceiling with probably only about a 30 centimeter gap between the actual roof and the ceiling, and it was all such a small frame and on about a 30-degree angle. There was no way you could ever get up there, and there was no way to service it. So the decision was made to actually pull these out and replace it with a mechanical system. So of course, when you're doing mechanical, you're not going to have 2 of these. I don't know why they put two on these windows. I think one would have been fine because it's not that heavy a window. So then the secondary problem that caused me obviously is once I pull all this apart, to then try and fit a mechanical one on, because there was no way I was going to put 2 mechanical units here that you've then got to try and wind them both, because obviously the problem with having these ones and them all being synced together, which is fine for these ones, is that of course if they go out of sync then they're going to stop, and that's okay. But when you've got mechanical ones, it's a case of, well, then what do you do? So I was looking at the end of this going, well, I can't use this because I then need to cut the middle out, and then I've got all this open section here where they've already cut it out to basically to sort of try and make good again. So then it's a case of, well, what am I going to do? I can't buy these because these have been discontinued, because the locks have been discontinued. Sorry, the automatic window winders have been discontinued. So what I ended up doing was I bought a piece of that, a piece of that, and then a piece of that. So I'll just grab that out because that's what I ended up doing. Boys. So here's the 3 pieces I ended up with. So of course I ended up just screwing that to that, and then that to that. Oops, yeah, was that right? That to that. So that was quite a nice easy fix, and then all I needed to do then was cut a section here out. Actually, it ended up being in the middle here where this groove was. It ended up being the perfect size for the mechanical winder just to go into it. And then I've put all that up and broke a few screws and lots of hanging off ladders and swearing while trying to hang off the air and do drilling, but that's okay. So I guess my the short purpose of the short video was just to say, hey, I managed to make a thing from that, so that I can replace this entire section without making a mess, and also to have a bit of a whinge about the fact that, number one, they used 2 of these on a window that only needed 1, and of course they're synced together, so they would never actually, so when they synced together, if one fails then they both fail. I don't see that you needed 2 on these in the first place. And then the fact that there was a control unit in the ceiling space or somewhere unserviceable was not very pleasing when you're trying to fix something for someone. So yeah, have a good day. Thanks for watching.